How do you do, Storyteller here, and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened. For this part, I'm going to experiment with switching to the third-person perspective. I care for it significantly less, but I am concerned about the frame rate drop that I've noticed in some of the previous episodes. I edit these kind of all in a batch, so I record a bunch, and then I edit them all at once, and I noticed in first-person view the frame rate does tend to dip a bit, so I'm going to experiment with third-person view and see if it's any better. There's a person over here we can talk to.
No challenge here. It is a primitive lock. Any simple metal tool should allow me to force it.
Like a spoon.
Pardon me, sir. I need your help. He doesn't seem to hear me. Moriarty! Moriarty, my worst enemy and a man who was presumed dead. Who could think this demon could have survived such a great fall at Reichenbach? He seems a shadow of his former self. There is no doubt he has truly lost his memory and therefore cannot be a part of these events.
Uh-oh.
Find this outsider as quickly as possible and bring him to the treatment room. I shall take care of his memory.
Professor, do you hear that voice? This man who is speaking to two others, a man of great intellect and ability, who is approaching and is even now right behind that door. You know him, Professor. Come now, Professor. You can't have forgotten so easily. Let me remind you, Professor. I am going to reveal his identity. I will tell you his name. You know him well, Professor. He is... Sherlock Holmes.
Stand where you are.
It's a bit cruel to someone who's lost their memory, but I'll allow it because it's hilarious. Let's see. Is there anything over by... I have to get used to third-person perspective. It's significantly different than what I've been playing with. Ugh. Mouse cord is doing the annoying thing again. I don't know how to look around. I've been playing only in first-person view. This is a challenge. Is there anything in Moriarty's cage? No. Okay. Onward and forward. I'm assuming it wants me to go upstairs and follow him. Oh. I do dislike this immensely. Hold on. We'll see if that works, because third-person view is atrocious to try to play in, at least with this game.
At last, the laundry. First of all, I must prepare my Amos disguise.
Hat, coat.
It is the imposter! He is here!
I'll sort you out, buddy. Come here.
The doctor is not here.
We had internal concerns arise today. Herr Director is engaged with urgent hospital matters and cannot be disturbed.
Very well. We will take this troublesome wretch along with us. Perhaps tomorrow the doctor and I will be able to discuss our other matter. First of all, my friend, you should know that you have been dealing with two famous professionals. Your deceit has failed, and you should know that it is impossible to confound us. Who are you, and why have you come here?
What is your opinion, Watson?
Holmes! But what are you doing here? And you are as white as a sheet. It seems as though you met a ghost.
It's quite possible, Watson. Quite possible.
You should have told me about your plans, Holmes.
Definitely not, Watson. You would have acted in an unnatural manner and done everything to persuade me against my course of action.
You can be sure of that. Good God, Holmes, think of the risk you took.
Indeed, Watson, and I hesitate to reveal my further plans. They are likely to be far more dangerous.
Will you explain?
Even though I know the crux of this affair began in Europe, and even perhaps in England, we have no elements indicating the when, the where, and the how. Our only lead would have us travel to a continent not our own, one that is wild and untamed in many ways. I assume that you now know the name of our next destination.
Why, the most wild and terrifying and unknown and unsavory and dangerous place you could possibly think of. There we go, I am back. Sorry about that. We had tornado sirens going off. So that was fun. I think we're all good now. I'm not really sure, but... Oh, I was just spelling it wrong.
Quite correct, Watson. New Orleans, Louisiana, located in the wilds of America. Our nemesis has a group of his men there, and we must arrive in time to stop them. We must make haste to Le Havre and book ship's passage immediately. I took precautions before our departure from Switzerland, but it is imperative we maintain the utmost secrecy regarding both our true identities and our destination. We are dealing with a cunning and powerful adversary, Watson. Quite powerful.
Looks like the amber from Jurassic Park. It's Jello.
Do you require assistance, young man?
He's got a puzzle box.
Ooh.
Ah, yes, young man. As a Mr. the big detective, it is often necessary to use all of one's little grey cells to solve great mysteries.
Hercule! Hercule! Where are you? Oh, here you are. Naughty boy, come along now.
Madame Poirot, your stop is coming soon. An agent will assist you with your luggage.
Isn't that the same lady that was in the asylum? With the screaming patient?
As soon
I
as
don't
we
know.
find a hotel, we shall send for our bags.
A very
I took
good
care to leave
plan.
nothing of value on board. Everything is safe and secure right here. I even have a rough map of the city. As you can see, Holmes, I prepared for every possibility. And here we are in the new world. A whole continent ready to welcome us with open arms. Is this not invigorating, Holmes? Think of the challenge that lies ahead.
Indeed, Watson, but let me remind you that we have few clues and time is not our ally, and countless lives rely upon our success.
You are right, Holmes. Perhaps we should secure some local currency with our bills of exchange. At the present, we have but a few dollars at our disposal.
Well, welcome to America. This is a very raunchy looking ship. Party boat. Downtown area down here. And around this corner is... well, the downtown, but also the bank. There's a gentleman with a gun standing outside of it.
One more step, and your brains will be about as useful as gator bait.
Very American.
The continent welcomes us with such hospitality, doesn't it?
Beg pardon, my good man. Is the bank closed for some time?
As long as it takes Mr. Blackman to come back from Baton Rouge with more dollars.
You were robbed.
Not hardly. We had a jewel sale.
When might one expect Mr. Blackman to return?
He likely could come back most any day, but he'll be gone 3 days at least.
Is there anyone else who could shed some light on this transaction? You see, we have come from Europe and are interested in a particular set of precious stones. It may well prove to be this same set your bank sold recently.
I ain't talking, and I don't know nothing about it anyhow.
Fair enough. So we have some items. We wanted to exchange our currency.
There is one feller, goes by the name of Champagne. He's Cajun. He knows everything that goes on around these parts. You can most likely find him near a pile of planks at the end of the pier.
Everything has its price in America, isn't that what they say?
Alright, we have American dollars now. Believe that's all we needed. Trying to see what's in our inventory. This is, bills of exchange.
I told you once, now don't rile me. Get lost.
Alright. So he said we could go down to the end of the pier and meet a guy named Champagne. This way, if I do believe. This dog is very loud. I'm going to try to avoid him. Very loud dog. We can cut through these warehouses where some workers are working. Hey. Cut through. Pardonnez-moi. And he said we could find him down at the end of the dock, which is this way. There is a saloon here. This guy's out cold, though. Some interesting looking houses. All the way to the end of the dock, and we do have a gentleman here with some dogs. And this is Champagne.
With open arms, Watson?
Napoleon, Lafayette. Don't mind the dogs, they just don't take to the smell of gentle folks, especially foreign ones. So what can old Champagne do for you? How's about some planks for your boat? Maybe a ride in Gator's Bath?
Some other time, perhaps. People say that you know everything that occurs in this area.
Maybe so. Don't care much what them people say. What you want to know?
We are particularly interested in a recent transaction in precious stones. No doubt you are familiar with these events.
For sure that's true. Now that you say it, I reckon I heard of some swap for jewels. I would help you out, but my poor brain's like a train with no coal. What you want me to do? Now there's a bottle of some champagne. That old Champagne will have a thing or two to say to you.
I got maybe half of that. I think he wants alcohol, but we can also offer him money.
Speaking of that, it come to me true. It was a week ago, maybe two. Butler working for a rich man made himself a jewel trade to honor and co. Looks like business to be done fast and with a quiet way. At my foot, the truth is here now.
The name of the employer of this silent partner?
I didn't
You
get a
go
word
by
of
the
that.
name Honest, from far up the bayou to the east. He got some crazy notions, Atten. They must be all like that where he come from.
No doubt. One other matter. During the last few days, have you noticed any strange ship movements, especially regarding those taking leave of port late at night?
You did right by old Champagne, so I tell you true. 5 days ago, a ship, she weighed anchor in the middle of the night. She took sail right after a mess of folks brought a lot of boats to meet her and charged on board. These all came from the swamps. Could be toting contraband. Anyway, left for the old world for sure. Old Champagne keeps to his own self. No reason to know nothing more. And advice to you, stay clear. Those that sticks their nose where it don't belong end up feeding the gators round these parts.
We shall consider ourselves duly warned. Good day.
And if he wants to go for a ride in the bayou or something else, old Champagne treats you right. I take dollars, bottles of you know what, right?
I assume you mean champagne. So, I got a little bit of that, but apparently there's a man named Arneson, who we believe was involved in a plot where a bunch of people met up, got in a boat, and took off in the middle of the night. That's about all we know. Let me just double check our inventory, make sure there's nothing to talk about. Yeah. So,
Holmes, our bag! Thief! Stop!
Ah.
Thief!
well, we gotta chase this guy. There he goes. Oh, well, can't go that way. Well, how do I get to him? Through here? Ah, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Stop!
There he goes. Beep beep.
There he is.
I saw him. That's the dog. Come back. That's not yours. Ugh, jerk. Wee. Excuse me. Where'd he go? There he is. Can't get away that easily. Hopefully.
He's there!
I see him. Ah. Move. Move. Whee! Ready or not. This guy. I'm gonna catch you at some point. Oh, well. Up the stairs. There we go, and alley-oop. He's probably way ahead of me by now. They don't care. They're like, none of my business. Let me in. Let me in. Nice. Jump. Whee! Nice one. Keep running. Where'd he go?
Stop!
Oh. This area, jeez. Come back. Where'd you go? There you are. We gotta get that bag back. I can't see him, but I assume that's where he just went. Could you walk any slower? Where are you? There you are. Nice. Can I zipline? Betcha. Yep, here we go. If that gotten stuck, we'd be in trouble. Where'd you go? Where? Oh, ladder. Duh. Ah. probably could have made it. I really didn't need to stop up their fan. Whee! Where is he? Well, hello, stop him. A lot of help you guys are.
Stop right there, you two. Not a move.
But the thief, he is going to...
Thief? What thief? All I see are two foreigners tearing up my wharf, making a lot of noise. I expect you have some sort of papers proving who you are and what business you have in my parish. I assume you have proof you're here legally.
What? Of course we have papers in our bag. But that villain, he... Well, upon my word, you allowed him to make off with our bag.
What are you insinuating, sir? Are you trying to offend me?
Gentlemen, look here. Calm down, Watson.
But can't you see that...
Watson? So you are Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson.
Please, spare us the pretense. You know very well who we are.
And a clever fella in the bargain. Listen to me and listen up good, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson.
Hello.
You will leave tomorrow morning for Europe on the same ship that brought you here. No need to offload your bags. Just turn around and get back on board. Nothing good will come your way if you ignore my advice. Oh, and one more thing. Without proper papers, you're nothing more than outlaws here in New Orleans. And outlaws end up as gator bait in my parish.
With open arms, was it, Watson?
Holmes, enough.
It seems they were warned of our arrival and waiting for us. Let's find the wealthy side of the city and the house of this Arneson. Come, Watson, time is not our friend. Watson, let's pay a visit to this Arneson.
Arneson. Alright, well, to the wealthy district. The French district. Ooh, it is fancy. Not sure if that was janky animations or if she's intentionally looking
Watson, it seems we have arrived at the place. Look there, on the iron door.
On the iron door.
Looks like no one is here, Holmes.
It's a pity, Watson. This is our only lead. Good morning, miss. Please don't be alarmed. We won't harm you, my dear. What is your name?
Eula, sir.
Lovely. When we arrived here, you were looking through this gate. This is the residence of Mr. Arneson, isn't it? Do you know him?
Yes, sir.
Do you know if he is at home?
Don't rightly know, sir.
Watson.
Come now, don't distress yourself like this. Why all these tears?
Because of my little brother, Davy. He serves with Mr. Arneson, and been more than 5 days since I heard from him.
Perhaps he went on a trip with Mr. Arneson.
No, sir. Tain't likely. I serves at the Gallagher's just the other side of the road. If they had left, I would have seen them. Something bad has happened. I can feel it.
But if you were so near, surely your brother would have cried out for help if there had been any real danger.
No, sir. Davy, he ain't like you and me. He's right smart in some ways. But Davy can't talk. Not a word. Besides, most evenings, we visits and sees each other across the stable door. It been more than 5 days since he been there. Oh, sir, I be mighty scared. Something has happened to him. I just knows it.
Miss, take us to this stable. Watson, I think this place is indeed isolated, and therefore quite vulnerable.
There it be. I'm gonna go wait on the road. That way, if my mistress calls for me, I can hear.
All right.
It is hardly secure, Watson. Regard the lock. It has a primitive wooden latch, which is also quite flimsy.
We have a knife. Ah, perfect.
Bravo, Holmes. Holmes, this horse is dying of thirst. Poor animal.
He has had no water for these past 5 days, Watson.
Unbearable.
Well, we will help him. We have to find some water.
This should prove useful. I hope this gate is not locked, because it appears quite formidable. Open!
Alright, we'll head directly to the house. Because one, we need some
Observe,
water.
Watson, these beautiful, well-tended flowers. Someone must care for them.
We need to see what's going on in the house, and at the same time we also need some water. I know, let's see. What a strange...
Closed, tight.
We'll go around the side of the house. Oh, there's a raccoon. Hello.
Look, Holmes, a raccoon. Come here, you little rascal.
They won't allow us too close, Watson, though the little imps are rather inquisitive by nature.
Alright. Into the house we go.
What a wretched smell, Holmes.
Quite wretched, Watson. It is the foul stench of death. Blood!
Kitchen seems fairly untouched. There's a bowl here.
Watson, hold the basin. I think you know what to do with it.
Yes. Before we investigate any further, I'm going to bring the horse some water. There's a fountain here.
No, I can't do that.
Yes, I can do that, but when I'm holding a basin. There, we have a basin full of water. I'll go back to the stable, give the horse some water, and then continue our investigation. We are good people, we care about animals, especially neglected ones. Here you go.
Easy now, fellow. Drink up.
And there's a hammer here.
What could this be doing here?
Well, it's a tool, and it's in the tool shed, so it's pretty appropriate. But, got the hammer, the horse has water, so now we can continue our investigation. Up and around the corner. Here we go. And back to Holmes.
Here you are, Watson.
Here you are, Watson. I don't know what I handed him.
Ah, it's a ham. What a delectable aroma. If only I were hungry.
Terrible. Hi. Just seeing all there is to see. Alright.
Blood!
Uh-oh. Ah.
Watson, what do you make of this?
What a horrific sight. It has lain here for at least a week.
On the contrary, Watson, once again you see, but fail to observe. The warmth of the local climate and the exceptional humidity undoubtedly sped up the rate of decomposition. Based upon my calculations, the body has been here for 5 days.
That's not good.
Let's examine the hands. They are calloused, with traces of dirt under the nails. This would be the gardener, no doubt.
So it's not her brother. Interesting. Alright. There's a portrait here.
This must be Arnson. He appears fond of cigars.
And hunting. There's a cabinet. Champagne?
Champagne. Maybe this will satisfy that old man of the same name.
There's a candlestick
Blood.
here with blood on it. There's a cigar.
Interesting. The person who sat here was fond of cigars.
There's a trail of blood here.
The person was struck with a sharp object as they entered. You can see the trail of blood that continues past the staircase.
I believe that is all to be seen in this room. As we walk into the hall, we see there's more blood out
This
here.
blood on the ground came from a deep wound. I cannot budge the handle. They must have lodged something behind it to hold fast the door. Shh, Watson, listen. Whoever you are, open up. We mean you no harm. Open the door for God's sake. It's a matter of life or death.
This is useless, Holmes.
Watson, your sensibility is appreciated. We shall come back later.
So there's somebody in there, but they don't want to talk to us yet.
These footsteps indicate a person of small stature, and the fact that they are so closely set suggests they made their way with great stealth.
Okay, this is a new room. Ah, okay, this could be the servants' quarters. Significantly an improvement over the one back in England, which was a hovel with a stack of hay and a blanket.
Curious, there's some mud that appears to have come from underneath the bed.
Almost like this bed
These
moves
clothes
away.
belong to a servant, and judging from their size, he is a small man. Yes, there is something here.
Hammer.
Yes, there is
No?
something here.
Knife. Here we go.
A stone of small size, but of splendid color. It seems to have no flaws, and I doubt that it originated in the American continent.
Interesting. We got a gem. I believe that's all there is to be seen in here. Well, if not the picture.
Arnson, with his servant, no doubt.
Just make sure I've explored all the rooms down here. That's the door we can't open. Wait. This is the kitchen. That's the door we can't open.
Closed, tight.
And that's also locked. Alright, upstairs we go. So there's 2 doors up here. This first one appears to be the master bedroom. There's a note. Mr. Arneson. Attitude toward Davy. Dr. Gallagher. So there's a very long letter, all to say Davy, which is, I believe, the brother who the girl is looking for, is a challenged but very unique boy. He's very good at math and numbers. He has psychological issues, but not physical issues. Yes, so he's a very unique child. Some books here. Mosquitoes. The takeaway from this is a way to repel mosquitoes is lemon juice spread on the skin. And there's also a book on the fauna, the behaviors of raccoons.
A book on the fauna and flora of Louisiana.
Beast of the swamps. Interesting. So there's a lore about creatures of the swamp and corpses appearing. Lore.
This book has been read often. Tales of Fantastic Hunts by D. Niles.
Denials. There's a box.
This metal tube is approximately 40 centimeters in length and 18 in diameter. It bears a small tag which reads, "This one without defect. My sincere apologies, E. Otis."
What the devil are you doing, Holmes?
Well, I took something. A tube? I'm not sure what the tube is for, but it's something without defect. There's a note here. This is the key to solving a puzzle later on.
A newspaper from 5 days ago. Someone has torn the last page. Well, it seems Arnson tried his hand at a small riddle in this newspaper. How strange. He does not seem the type to take interest in mathematical conundrums.
We can go out onto the balcony. There's a small tree here.
This should prove useful.
A lemon tree. There's a door here.
Closed tight.
But it is closed tight. But I believe we can go back out into the hallway. We might be able to enter through the door over here.
Closed tight.
Never mind, we cannot. Let me make sure we've seen all there is to see in this room, then we'll go back downstairs. We can also explore the courtyard outside. Oh, some footsteps here we haven't fully examined.
What's this? Someone placed their hand near this footstep. Judging by the size of the fingers, it seems to be a youth. Why would they lean down here? Of course, to pick something up.
Interesting, so someone picked something up off of the floor.
They killed the man who was sitting there, and the trail of blood begins here. So this would be the body they dragged through the gate.
Interesting. Just making sure we've gotten all the clues.
Papers were burned, and great care was taken to destroy everything of any value to our case. We will find nothing further in this place.
Butterflies. There's trails of blood here, going this way.
Footsteps. Let's see. Some footsteps or marks, not clear enough to make out. Let's see if there are others. Blood. However, given the small amount, the wound should be superficial. Wait, this is interesting. There is a trace of mud here.
We'll follow that in a bit. There's still some to be seen around the courtyard. There's a bunch of flowers here we can pick.
This should prove useful. This should prove useful.
Yes. Oh, one over here.
This should prove useful. This should prove useful.
Yes.
Footsteps. Let's see.
Here we go.
Watson, regard the traces in the soil. A body was dragged here recently. Undoubtedly, it was a man of great size. More traces of mud. A person wearing shoes thick with fresh mud entered the garden by this gate. They entered the house and then returned, dragging a body back along the way. This erased some signs of their former movements, but not entirely. Fortunately, I have a particular talent for tracing footsteps. A neglected art indeed.
Interesting.
Holmes! Here!
Ah. So this is a... Excuse me, Watson. Back up. This is a puzzle.
Very interesting.
It has to do with the clock puzzle. There we go.
Nothing can stop an inventive and logical mind.
So we got a key. I believe it's for the door upstairs, and there's a pistol here.
Bah, it's only an air pistol. I would be hard-pressed to shoot a nestling from a branch with this weapon. Besides, it's not even loaded.
An air pistol? Didn't know that was a thing back in these times. So we got a silver key. I believe that does unlock the door over here, if I'm not mistaken. It does!
Watson, that shouting. Something is happening.
This must have come from the stables, Holmes.
Well, let's go. Sounded like our friend. Ugh. Making myself sick. There we go. And the door will be closed.
They've bolted the door. There's no time for anything else. We must force it open. Quickly, Watson. We must find something to serve as a battering ram.
We must act quickly.
Holmes, right here.
This must have come from the stables, Holmes.
Watson, this can serve as a ram to take down the door. Watson, tend to her.
Holmes, hold on. There is a message pinned to this unhappy woman.
Do you think that in this city, the life of one English detective is worth much more than that of a black maidservant? Final warning, Mr. Holmes. Rude.
Holmes, she is still in shock. I must stay with her.
Okay, yeah. I would imagine so. Well, somebody's gonna die today. Because that was rude. And she's sweet. Hey, alright. We just got that room upstairs unlocked. So let's head up there. I'll try to slow down a little bit. I know I'm making the frame rate drop by running, but it's a gut response. There we go. This is the hunting trophy room. Charming. So there's a lot to be seen here. There's a very strange painting with an iguana of some kind with a hollow eye.
This picture is sinister.
Yes.
Surely there is something behind this fresco. This hole must be part of some mechanism.
Yes. We can look over here.
Yes, there is something here.
That shape looks very similar to something we picked up.
Strange drawing. It says, only the best gunmen earn the finest arms.
Interesting. There's a spot here on the floor that's actually part of the mechanism.
Ingenious. Standing on the stone activates some mechanism.
Yes. And then over here we have a few things. That's the door. I don't need to go there yet. We have... What is this?
A lovely piece. I must say it's the highlight of this exhibition, but I dare say it shall prove useful.
It is the horn to the, I believe it's a ram or a goat over there.
Anson should be in these pictures.
Should be or is? Big difference. Yes, right over here. My best trophy. We can put the horn back on the goat, and it exposes a picture.
This Anson has a good sense of humor. He and this girl should be very close. Perhaps she has some information.
It occurs to me now. My best trophy is under a picture of the girl from the boat. Oof.
Ingenious. Standing on...
Yes, shush. So, we need something heavy enough to weigh down this platform, so we can actually put the potted plant there.
Nice lemons.
Okay. I believe we
Nice
can...
lemons.
Come back for that later. We can take the metal rod we found from out in the garden, and what this said was, only the hunters with the finest eye get the best arms, or something like that. Basically, what this is insinuating is it wants us to stand from that spot and shoot the iguana in the eye to trigger the mechanism. Well, we're not that great of a shot, so we've weighed down the platform and we're going to poke it in the eyeball with a stake.
Nothing can stop an inventive and logical mind.
That's triggered the mechanism and unlocked the secret door. There's a room. Very nice room. We've got a photograph.
The same woman seen in the trophy photograph.
To my darling Errol, this bouquet will forever be the true symbol of our love. Well, that happens to be the exact bouquet we gathered out in the garden. So we might have a conversation starter. Ashmet tried to make friends with these men, mainly Chinese. There's a lot to see here. A fisherman told me he was often alone in the swamp late in the evening. Nasty appearance. If you want to pause and read this, you can. There's a lot to read here, and I will lose my voice if I read it everything.
The swamp. We must hold fast, as it is imperative that we go there tonight.
Oh.
Everything in good time. First, I must find Watson.
In good time? I'm not done. Dear sir, it was with great surprise and interest I received your letter. Stolen goods. Oh. The restitution of the stolen goods is not our only goal. Fortunately, the agent... So, something about stolen goods with the Northwood Agency. Interesting.
Very interesting.
My thoughts exactly. There we go. There's a shelf here with guns inside with a strange opening mechanism.
It is possible to take down an elephant with one shot using these weapons. Unfortunately, the metal grid is too solid to break through.
I wouldn't exactly say take down an elephant with one shot with one of these, but I suppose I can't disprove it, so I'll believe you, but that's a bit incredible. Alright. To find Watson. He's downstairs with the girl still. But we can talk to her if she's awake now. And, oh?
Perhaps it is time to take care of this young man. Everything in good time. First, I must find Watson.
Yes. So, we'll see if we can wake her up to come speak to the brother. We'll see how she's doing. Ah, she's awake.
Watson, read this. It sheds light on a dark and sinister enterprise.
We already read it.
Arneson was in contact with the Northwood Agency. He wanted to inform them about the activities of Ashmat. But why?
Because his servant was secretly selling the same stolen jewelry sought by this agency. How is she, Watson?
It will be difficult for her to speak for some time. She had a narrow escape.
Can she walk?
Yes, but why?
Come with me. Your brother is behind this door, miss. He is wounded, but only superficially. It is extremely urgent that he opens this door. Can you call to him? Perhaps it will draw him out.
David. David.
Young man, I know that you can hear and understand me. We are here at the request of your sister, who is with us now. She is very worried about you, and rightly so. The man with me is a doctor. He is going to look at your wound and ease your suffering. Please come out. Everything will be all right.
Open the door, Davy. These gentlemen talk true. Come on now. Open up the door for Eula.
Miss, you should go and get some food for your brother. He must be very hungry. Have you finished, Watson?
Well, yes.
Very well. Please understand, my young lad, and you too, Miss Eula. We are here to solve an affair that risks many people's lives. Furthermore, we have very short time to save them. As for you, young man, you know some very important things. You must tell us everything and leave nothing out.
But what are you...
Listen to me. I will tell you a story. Davy, 5 days ago, at night, you were woken up by noises from the dining room. First, you heard the voice of the gardener, and then a loud blow to the floor. You got up and took the candle, which was lit. Then you went to the dining room. On your way, you found something on the floor and picked it up. It was likely a piece of paper. Afterwards, you went to the door of the dining room and saw the dead body of Colin the gardener soaking in a pool of blood. You also saw Ashmat, the other servant, dragging Mr. Arnson, who seemed dead, towards the door. Ashmat saw you, struck at you with his knife, and caught you in the arm. Seeing that this blow had not killed you, he raised his knife to strike again and eliminate the only witness to his heinous crime. But something stayed his hand. The item you picked up was far more important. He paused to snatch it up, giving you time to run away and barricade yourself in your room.
But if you were there, why didn't you do anything?
Mr. Holmes was not there, miss. But if he tells you that things have happened in such a way, you should believe him without any doubt.
Then you are a kind of hoodoo man.
In some way.
David, do this man tell it true? Is this what
Boy's
happened?
seen some things.
The good man saved us both. Do what he tells you, Davy.
Listen to your sister, young man. Now, Davy, can you recall what was on that piece of paper? Think hard now. Watson, your notebook. Be attentive to everything he draws and copy it down exactly.
Oh, jeez. That's a lot of numbers.
Holmes, can we trust these figures and make sense of them? I mean to say, consider this boy's affliction.
Ah, this boy. A strange one, isn't he? Watson, let's escort him and his sister to her employer.
This be the Gallagher's place. Thanks, misters.
Miss Eula, we should be thanking you. Now, take good care of your brother. Watson, we must move quickly. The enemy is close at hand, and there's another place we've yet to examine. Yes, Watson, we must pass this way. Before we venture further, we must find some protection from this merciless insect horde. Wait for me here.
Yes, we must find some protection from the mosquitoes, which is the lemon juice we talked about, which we would not be able to get until now that we know that we need it.
This should prove useful.
There we go. And then... No? Okay. I suppose we'll take it as is. go. Where's the path? There it is. We've got the lemon.
Ah, home!
There are thousands of mosquitoes. How do I... Maybe I can hand it to him.
Watson, cover yourself
There we
with
go.
lemon juice. It will protect you from the mosquito stings.
Do you know any similar trick to avoid the sting of bullets? We likely need it soon.
More blood. And drag marks.
There are signs of a struggle here. Perhaps Arnson regained his senses and fought back. Blood, and in large quantities. This bush has been stripped of its lower leaves and slightly uprooted. Someone grabbed hold of the brambles and refused to let go. His adversary, unable to get him down due to the man's tight grasp, must have cut off his hand. I would say his right.
What a
Ow.
horror!
Rather, and quite determined.
There's also some little tracks over here. Interesting. Yeah, they're little animal tracks. Yeah, that's awful. There's a rope.
A boat was waiting here. Watson, it seems everything leads to the swamp. How can we get there?
We must find that fisherman, the one at the docks who gave us information. He could help us.
Champagne.
You're quite right, Watson. Besides, it would be wise to visit a young woman.
A young woman?
Yes. The lady from the boat. We have the bouquet.
Run, Watson, run!
Nice.
We outran them, Holmes.
Surely not, Watson. They ceased their chase only when they saw we continued towards the port. Apparently, they have orders to kill intruders only as a last resort.
Is this supposed to reassure me?
Well, we saw the young lady from the photograph on this boat, so we have to talk to this lady, who is kind of the overseer. We would never use the word pimp. What are you talking about? I'm gonna show her the bouquet.
Good evening, my darlings. Come to have a little fun, have you?
No.
Well...
No.
No, madam. We came to give this bouquet to one of your boarders. You know who I'm talking about. We have something very important to say to her.
Good evening. You brought these flowers? Who are you? What's happened to...
Mr. Arnson? We still do not know exactly what has happened with the gentleman, but we are here to try and find out. Listen to me, miss.
Lucy?
My dear Miss Lucy, my friend and I have come here all the way from England. You may have seen us this morning with the sheriff.
Are you working for him?
No. Actually, we suspect him of obstructing our investigation. Our case has some remote connection with Mr. Arnson, so we went to his home to talk with him. While there, we found evidence he has been abducted, and one of his servants had been murdered.
Kidnapped? But why?
I don't know, but time is running out. Please tell us what you know about Mr. Arnson, and Miss Lucy, omit nothing. Even the most trivial of facts may prove to be of great importance.
He is such a kind man and had promised we would be married this autumn. He arrived in New Orleans about 2 years ago. He's a hunter and was to stay but a few weeks. He was after something in the swamp, Lord knows what. Then we met here. I had just started working, you see. Madam said that she would let me leave only if my debts and worth to her was paid off in full. A few weeks ago, Mr. Arneson, said that he had the solution. Maybe he had the money and was kidnapped by people who wanted it. It would have been a small fortune to most folks around here.
And you know where he could have hidden it?
Oh, I don't care about the money. If it could bring me back Errol, I'd give it away gladly. He showed me a secret room upstairs. He shoots with a gun to open it. He says that nobody else can succeed but a real marksman. Behind the wall is a cupboard with weapons and a little box hidden behind a big rifle. His money is inside. To open the gate of the cupboard, he uses signet ring that he wears on his right hand. But how can any of this help you? You don't have his ring.
You have been of greater assistance than you may realize, Miss Lucy. If Mr. Anson is still alive, we shall bring him back to you. Come on, Watson. Now, Watson, let's explore this swamp.
We must find that fisherman, the one at the docks who gave us information. He could help us.
Alright, so we'll go to Champagne. What they were talking about with the signet ring is important because Arneson's right hand is the hand that got cut off. So if we can find the hand, we'll have the ring. Yeah, let's go to Champagne's hut.
Good evening, sir. We are interested in a short trip along the bayou into the nearby swamp.
My mouth, nobody but some fool go in that swamp at night. Come back tomorrow. Old Champagne take you then for a fact.
No, sir. It is of the gravest importance that we could go to the swamp, and tonight.
No ways to get there. Unless we have some boat hereabouts. I can sell you the boat, but tell you true, you get your own selves to the swamp.
I believe we can find some manner of payment that you will find satisfactory. We shall return.
Well, I have a bottle of champagne. Will that be enough?
Will this cover the cost of a boat?
It been kept in a bad way. My foot, it warm now for sure. All this'll get you is them planks from the wood pile around there.
And one of your lanterns.
Sold.
What do you expect to do with this, Holmes? Build a raft?
Watson, let's pay a visit to this Anson.
Yeah, no, we'll be back for the raft, but for now, we need these wooden planks, and the hammer, and the nails, and we've built ourselves a ladder. And with this ladder, we can go back to Arneson's house. I said we can go back, hello, to Arneson's house.
Would you be so kind as to explain to me why we are coming back with these wood planks?
We are searching for a signet ring, Watson.
And how do these planks help us find it?
We must recover the hand that wears it, so we must find a way to lure its finder.
But whom are you talking about, Holmes?
The Raccoon!
The facts speak for themselves, Watson. The key that unlocks Anson's cupboard is the signet ring he customarily wears on his right hand. There was the very same severed by one of his kidnappers when the poor man clung to the bush we saw on the way to the bayou. It so happens that raccoons are attracted by carrion and also are quite taken by shiny objects. No doubt one has made off with our missing hand and its ring. I noticed their tracks nearby, and no doubt they have a nest in this area. Find the raccoons and we find our hand.
As you put it, it seems quite obvious, Holmes.
It's simplicity itself. But now we need to place some bait so the little fellow will come out and take us back to his den.
Some bait? I know where to get bait. The best kind of bait. We have ham.
I'm going to set this outside to attract the little devil.
That's not very nice. He's just misunderstood. What? Why are you so short right now? Oh, I was on the stairs. There we go, we have the ham. Let us... Where should we... Right here. Up the tree. down the side of the house.
Watson, there's the nest. It's on the roof, above the balcony.
Ah, well, up the balcony we go. And we have a ladder now. Out the door. Grab our ladder. And right about... Oh, I see it. Let's place our ladder. And climb up. Ew, gruesome.
Excuse me, madam. I'm merely passing by with no wish to disturb you, although I'm sure you found Mr. Arnson to be a man of good taste.
Ew. There we go. Well, we have the ring now. Let's head back inside. Oh, wrong door. This door. Back inside. Into the secret room. And use the ring to open up the cabinet. Excellent. Well, we can get a gun.
What a splendid weapon.
Indeed, it'll be of great advantage in the swamp.
I'm sure. And as she talked about, here's the box of money.
Here's what we need to buy a boat.
That's fair. I mean... yeah, that's fair. I got lost for a second. We need to go downstairs.
You should have listened to me, Mr. Holmes, and gone back on your boat.
It's the sheriff. Quickly, load the rifle, Holmes.
No, Watson. Forget the gun and see to the ladder. And quickly.
See to the ladder. We'll grab the ladder and use it. And
Let's
use
go,
it,
Watson, to the port.
To the port. Nice. Excellent. I doubt we'll need to speak to her again before we leave. We have plenty of money now, so let's make our way back to Champagne's hut so we can buy a raft. We have money.
Have we enough to buy a boat, sir?
For sure.
Excellent. Could you tell us the best way to reach the swamp area nearest to the rich parish?
That's simple enough for any fool. Sail along the River Crook and keep close to the shore.
There is one last service you can do for us. The boat from which we disembarked is scheduled to leave tomorrow for Europe. Could you take a message to the crew for us? We may need for them to hold their departure until 8 o'clock in the morning.
Will do.
And one last thing. How may we identify Old Sam's racks from any others?
Old Sam's racks be marked with blue and white tops.
Now, Watson, let's explore this swamp.
But we will get to that in the next video. We'll continue with our adventure next time. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough so far. I know I am. It is definitely one of my favorite Sherlock Holmes adventures so far, but we will pick this up next time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!